I realized that we had a different Wild team than I think we've ever had before. Just the makeup of the team, the way they were playing, the way they were going into the playoffs, I felt differently. I mean, normally playoff season comes and I'm like, oh, can't wait to lose again. Like this year, I was like, who knows? Anything could happen. Like, it's just like, we're so used to like failure and disappointment in Minnesota that I feel like that's our attitude a lot going into the playoffs. And I didn't feel that this year. I felt excited. I was like, I feel like this Wild team has a chance to move on to the second round in the playoffs. And especially the matchup against the Golden Knights, who they've played so well against all season, had a good record against, played tight, close games, fun games. I was really looking forward to this specific series between these two teams. And after game one, they get the game one victory. And I didn't think too much of that. I'm like, okay, we're off to a good start, but I don't think we're going to sweep this series. Game two, they played really well. And I'm still thinking, okay, they didn't get the win, but my dad and I said this after that game. He was like, if the Wild play like this the rest of the series, they're going to win the series. And despite having spurts of a goal here or a good play here or whatever here, they have not been able to string together a complete game since that game one. And it's really cost them as they've now fallen down 3-1 in the series. And Marc-Andre Fleury has been a problem, but the Wild have also been their own problem. I mean, it seems like they can't get out of their own way. And they have had a hard time in the series coming back from adversity and finding ways to rebound when things don't go their way, whether that be Marc-Andre Fleury playing really well, or whether that be injuries like Marcus Johansson going down, or line juggling, or officiating, whatever you want to say has caused them adversity. There's been a lot of different things. At the end of the day, the best teams are the ones who can overcome that adversity and find ways to win anyway, because no game is going to be perfect. Issues are going to arise. You're going to have bumps in the road, and you got to find a way to get past it. And unfortunately, the Wild just have not been able to do it so far.
I mean, you can see that Vegas as a team that's been to the playoffs has been battle tested, and that the Minnesota Wild truly, really aren't. I mean, especially with this group, this is a very different group than the one that was in the bubble in Vancouver last year. Not that they did any better, and it's a different group than prior first round exits of past. I mean, I think that's what makes it just so frustrating, is because, I've been very honest with you guys. I'm usually very cynical and very critical of this team, and I don't put a lot of stock in them because of this. And this year I finally did feel a little bit of positive, but I think the biggest, most glaring difference is Kirill Kaprizov has been shut down so effectively by Vegas, which is exactly what Vegas needs to do. But you see what an impactful player he is for this team. I mean, we've preached about it, and it's not just words anymore. Like, you stop him, you stop a lot of the mojo and the offensive momentum that Minnesota has going. I mean, you have the Joel Eriksson, Ek, Marcus Foligno, Greenway line still doing their thing. Kevin Fiala has been stymied. And yes, a credit to Marc-Andre Fleury, naturally, who has been playing out of his mind. But I think there's still just another level that the Minnesota haven't quite reached yet. You still need that depth up the center. I mean, Joel Eriksson's really the only centerman. Faceoffs are atrocious right now for the Minnesota Wild. They cannot win to save their life. Power play is back in its slump. And again, a credit to Vegas for shutting it down and doing what they need to do.